Welcome back to the C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
How was your Thanksgiving holiday, Connor?
It was good. It was low key for the first time in many, many years, and it was wonderful.
We love to hear that. Well, we had a fantastic week of wrestling last week. We had Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite, and then the following evening, we had Collision on Thanksgiving. So if your family wasn't tired of wrestling on Wednesday night, you got to drag them through more wrestling on Thursday night. I got my mom to watch like 10 minutes of wrestling. So
That's a win.
That's a win. It's a huge win, and I have a bit to talk about that later. And we wanted to start off the show with what is the Continental Classic. So everyone faces each other in the league, and it's all the men so far. There isn't a women's Continental title yet, unfortunately. So it's all the men, and it's all the men who don't have a title, except for Okada, who is defending his title throughout the series. So everyone faces each other in the league. There are two leagues, the Blue League and the Gold League. It's kind of like football, soccer.
Yeah.
Everyone earns 3 points for a win, 1 point from a draw. The stipulations from these matches are each one is 20 minutes long, and there is no interference. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the strategy that's at play there. It's a little bit different than traditional, like what we see week to week wrestling, and I think it adds a really unique athletic sort of scope to it. It's tournament play, right? So highest accumulator of points from each team or from each league goes on to face the winner from the other league. The winner of this Continental Classic wins the Continental title, a part of the Unified Championship.
Yeah, I don't have the number in front of me of how many are in each group. Is it 5, 6?
6.
It's 6.
Yes.
So yeah, in your group, it's round robin style. Mm-hmm. You'll get a chance to go against every single person, which adds really awesome dynamics with there only being 2 groups, and some of the matches we'll get down the line, whether it's putting Death Rider against Death Rider, Jet Speed against Jet Speed. Mm-hmm. So, and I want to talk more later about, I find it very funny how they're like, all right, no interference for the tournament. Yes. You shouldn't interfere and cheat in the other matches, but you can't do it in the tournament. It's like, all right, now we do rules. All right.
Now we like rules. I'm a little confused about the international and continental titles. From what I understand, the continental title is meant to represent like Europe, and then the international title represents the Atlantic, like territories around the Atlantic. I'm going to do some more research on that as we continue on through the Continental Classic. But I'm really excited about this. So far in the matches that we've watched, just giving a glimpse of what we're going to be talking about here. Kyle Fletcher versus Kazuchika Okada. We've got Kevin Knight and Darby Allin. Shibata and Kingston is a different thing. Claudio Castagnoli and Orange Cassidy. So there's a lot of action going on. There's some really cool storylines going on within AEW and the Continental Classic here within both leagues, the Blue and the Gold League. But here, we're going to talk more about it here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We're starting off here. Thanksgiving Eve Dynamite 11/26/25. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, so they shot Dynamite live, and then they did a taping for Collision afterwards. So we're in the same venue. All of that good stuff plays in a little bit later. We start off tonight with AEW Continental Classic Gold League, Kyle Fletcher versus Kazuchika Okada, the holder of the Continental title.
I just love this because this is kind of like when there's those two people that are like not your friends, but they're like in your group or adjacent to your group, and they're both shitheads, and they kind of start chirping at each other and kind of like getting after you. And it's like, I don't like either of you. Let's just see you beat the hell out of each other. That's how I felt watching. It was awesome. They both did like their little, their little scumbag bits and all. Mm-hmm. Literally, they start by going for a handshake, and they both try and kick each other at the same time. Mm-hmm. There's a point where Fletcher's on the top rope, so Okada knocks down Fletcher. Fletcher later returns the favor. Just like great classic, just like, especially again, the dynamic of them both being in the Don Callis family.
Yes.
Where it's like, all right, we're both still going to be dirty. Mm-hmm. and we're gonna have to. We don't already don't like each other, and we're still gonna have to pretend that we do when we don't after this match.
And Fletcher now has a lot more to play for, right? He doesn't have a title. He needs to prove himself. He needs to hold himself within the family, especially against Okada, the title holder currently in the Don Callis family. I mean, I loved the sequence where after Okada's just screaming, he counters a sequence of brutality with a brainbuster, and then Fletcher counters the Rainmaker off the apron. Okada catches Fletcher's kick and then brings him to the floor. I did forget to mention the Okada being thrown face first into the turnbuckle and a powerbomb and Okada kicking out. Okada nearly throws Fletcher into the referee. Cazadora roll up by Fletcher, pin to win. 1, 2, 3. 3 points for Fletcher. Callis says it restores your faith in professional wrestling. What is Callis doing behind the scenes?
What a great start to this tournament. As someone who only recently picked up AEW, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. We'll see what this like. That was fantastic. And again, just the really very beginnings of the dynamics of groups having to go against each other when there's already tension. Like, it's only going to build, and I'm excited. 'Cause they say this takes weeks, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, no, it's going to take weeks because, again, you've got 6 wrestlers who have to face each other. So you've got, 36 matches all across the board right there. So boom, bada bing. You'll love to see it. Speaking of things that we love to see, Lexi Nair talking with Kenny Omega. Are Kenny and the Bucks reunited? It's a complicated answer. Kenny says he hasn't been a model employee or a model friend. I was once fooled by Don Callis, and if the Bucks and the fans can accept me, who am I to say that they don't deserve a second chance? The door closes, and then after like a very pregnant pause, the Bucks walk out and surprise Lexi Nair. Interesting. Fascinating.
All I wrote for that is because Lexi is like, are you guys making up or haven't you put it? And I'm just like, loaded question, Lexi.
I just saw it today, but there's a AEW had like a shooting day, I guess, at an office somewhere, and it's like a bunch of like, this is AEW. There was the picture that I posted of Brody King about to throw Darby Allin down like a balcony. The video that I saw today was, I can't tell them apart. White people just in general. But Nick and or Matt Jackson playing with action figures, and the caption was like, "Oh, you could say this is playing with toys, but it's also creative visualization of your goals," which I think is really important. They really let the admin cook there. Mark Briscoe, after Blood and Guts, he talks about how he lost his brother. He lost the most important part of himself. They really let people shoot here. They wanted to touch on the heartstrings during Thanksgiving. Didn't know if he wanted to come back without Jay. Had to make him proud. Do it for us. There's a time and a season for everything. When family's on the line, my boys, the conglomeration, my family, my road family, my home family. This is for Delaware. This is for Sussex County. This is for Jay. We did it, baby. A very nice moment from Mark Briscoe, and we see the softer side of some of AEW's toughest exteriors in these two shows. But speaking of seeing the tougher side, or the softer side of our tougher exteriors, what about the movies? What about the movies, folks? What's at the movies now? Well, obviously the big one. If you haven't watched TV, Wicked. For good. Secretly, do you know how The Wizard of Oz is actually about like the gold standard?
No.
The
What?
Yellow Brick Road is like gold. And
Was it for it or against it?
it's for like physical, like a gold standard, and the idea that the physical dollar should be tied to it. Somebody's going to listen to this and be like, Charlie, you weren't fully paying attention to that part of APUS history, but Frank L. Baum was like, he was doing some serious like mind control stuff. He was doing some real wacky stuff. And Wicked has some weird undertones as well. I don't even want to get into it, but I have seen neither of those. But you were excited when I mentioned Zootopia 2.
Yeah, I want to see Zootopia 2.
Mm-hmm.
I love the first one when it came out 1,000 years ago.
You have younger family members, right?
Oh, no, that's definitely the plan for when
Yeah,
my niece
excellent.
and nephew come into town for Christmas. We're going to do a movie day.
Oh, perfect. And we've also got Eternity, which features Temple alumni Divine Joy Randolph.
Go Owls.
Go Owls. Coming soon, we've also got Avatar 3, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I can't wait for the meme that comes out of that I don't understand. And
did you not see the first? The first one was actually pretty good. My kids in school wanted to watch it. I'm like, it's probably it was actually pretty good.
You let your kids watch it at school? Is it PG?
PG-13, I think.
Okay.
Wait, you think you think they're making Five Nights at Freddy's R-rated?
I don't know, like, how scary is it, man? I've just seen all of the things around it. Also, is this thing on? Bradley Cooper wants an Oscar. So bad. Give me an Oscar. Listen, I was in The Hangover, okay? Everybody does something like that once in a while, but like Go Birds, Silver Linings Playbook, Maestro, I had to sit in that chair for hours so they could put that nose on. What a weird little movie. Using this deal directly supports the show. Visit linktr.ee/cshowpod or click on the link in the description to access this deal on behalf of your friends at the C Show. T's and C's apply. Please make sure to read the fine print. Speaking of doing it within the first 20 minutes, AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament semi-final. The Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. Harley opens up with some sportsmanship, but of course Julia can't stand for it. I think my move of the match is right after that is the assisted senton by the Babes. And then later there's the Willow DDT on Sky Blue.
For me, there were two big things. For one, it was the Sisters of Sin doing the tarantula dropkick combo. Mm-hmm. So the tarantula, imagine like you have your backs to the rope and someone just grabs like both your arms and both your legs is like just stretching you like on the ropes.
Oh, nice.
And then they came and did a dropkick to that. That was an awesome combination. And the other thing I want to point out, I wouldn't exactly say it was a move of the match, but so the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue hits a power bomb and Julia like goes for a moonsault, but like goes too far and then kind of lands and like drops an elbow to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what was supposed to happen there. They tried to play it off on commentary. I just thought it was funny. I would break my neck if I tried to moonsault over anything.
Yeah, I just sit here and talk about wrestling, so. But that's a great segue here, Connor, as we get into the finale. Sky Blue sets up Julia to do that moonsault and then changes mid-air to do an elbow drop. Babe with the power, Willow Nightingale with the power bomb, delivers Julia Hart to the mat. 1, 2, 3, pin to win. The Babes of Wrath move on to the finals. Next up, the Ops celebrate Samoa Joe. He's the first man to hold the men's world title in AEW, along with a trios title. Excalibur is less than complimentary to Hook, and Joe immediately takes the mic from Toni. I think he's still mad about Halloween. On the Tron, tonight is a celebration, so take your hillbilly asses out of here. And that's the Shivani, actually, so it's just your hillbilly ass out of here. And then on the Tron, an SUV pulls out. Whose house? Swerve's house. He's got the staple gun. Prince Nana was driving. Hangman was also in the garage. They both have chains. Now this is a party.
Now let me go right here, because right after that, Joe looks at Shibata and he goes, and he says, "Go get the scrubs."
Go get the scrubs.
So I'm like, oh, he's sending Shibata to try and fight both of them himself. That's insanity. But no, he didn't send him to go get Swerve and Hangman. He sent them to get the rest of their Ops dojo people. So he just called all his own dojo people scrubs.
Yeah.
To just come out and line the ring. It was so funny. I was like, what a horrible plan. I'm like, oh, he's just mean to his own people.
I think this is the heel turn. This is the heel move for Joe now. You know, the Ops were always sort of anti-heroes, but this is sort of anti-hero as it gets. The dojo comes streaming out as Joe reminds the audience that this is the Ops house. Everything went according to plan. Joe has his own video package. Roll the tape. This is Hook, the linchpin of this entire operation. All of these rednecks are too stupid to realize that they're looking at the greatest second-gen wrestler as he comes out. Now, of course, Swerve is finally at the ring. Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? Swerve's house. Hangman also comes out. Did you see Hangman drinking the shot of whiskey, walking up? Of course, still they're stretching the licensing of American Venom out from Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, that's a reminder for me to turn on my PS4 and upload or like download, install Red Dead Redemption 2. Hangman and Swerve deal with the jobbers in the crowd. A member of the dojo gets the glass bottle, and the joppers, that's what I call them, protect the foursome. The ops stay up the ramp. Swerve deals punishment out to the jobbers. Boom, boom, boom. Chain and a staple gun combo. I would run 50 brick walls for the Hangman. And on the outside of the ring, Hangman and Swerve choke out two of the jobbers hanging on the chain, and the refs have to come to break up the brutality.
Yeah, they really like that hang by the chain gimmick. They will, but hey, it's brutal and it gets the points done, the point across. So
he is the Hangman, and you can't really do a chain like the chain. You can gimmick it and like make it look. I feel like, but the rope would be a lot more difficult, and then you've also got like rope burns and stuff. The other thing that I love too is calling them jobbers, because again, a jobber is somebody in a wrestling company whose job it is really is to just take bumps. Whether it's the Outrunners used to do this. I saw a screenshot earlier, but the Outrunners used to do security, right? So they used to be the guys in the black polo, run out, pull people away from each other or whatever. But I love the jobbers. They come out and they've got their black shirts on and they're just trying so hard. They just want to please Daddy Joe so much.
Did you just stop the podcast to point out how much you like your own joke?
Yes. Well, I wanted to explain what I meant by jobber, because again, this is a podcast for wrestling newbies.
And then just one thing you don't have on here that I want to say real quick is that there's like a real quick thing of Moxley just talking like maniac style, like a mile a minute. And what I got out of it is basically it like it's not about winning and losing. It's about staying out of the hospital, but being ready for the next match. Kind of him trying to talk away his recent losses and being like, well, so and so isn't here because what we did after. And again, I have no better way to describe it besides maniac style.
Y'all are celebrating the regular season. The playoffs are about to start. Speaking of Jon Moxley, in the Continental Classic Blue League, Moxley faces off against Mascara Dorada. Of course, to start off, we've got some Let's Go Moxley, you tapped out chants. But off the ramp, my move of the match, Dorada runs to hit Mox with a crossbody, but Mox catches him with the elbow, and Mascara is down.
For me, it was Mox does the Samoa Joe, like, nope, and just, like, walks away from a dive. And then he does his own self-harm dive where he slams his head off the barricade. Like, I'm like, he's got to be concussed big style. And he just kept going. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, the long way, for sure. Dorada also gets a tornado in off the ropes, a 450 splash after knocking Mox down. He took too long. The Death Riders cannot help here, though, so Mox has to do this the hard way. Mox catches Dorada with his knees, puts Dorada in the sleeper hold, and the ref calls it after Dorada goes limp. Mox wins and takes the 3 points. Shafir enters the ring, consoles Moxley, taunts Dorada. Oh, but it's Timeless Toni. Oh my God, that dress was iconic. Jolly, jolly Johnny, you are not dreaming, your eyes do not deceive you. I am the toughest, most resilient, and the least bitchy person in this ring. Excellent. When you operate in fear, you operate in hate. Beautiful. I operate in love, and what I do for love is far more violent that you could ever imagine, Johnny. I have a message for your cavewoman daughter. As per our victory, my lover and I will pick the stipulation for our semifinal contest. It has to be brutal enough to exact our revenge. It must be entertaining enough for all these sickos. Toni realizes that she hasn't gotten Mina anything for Christmas. Mina, your early gift is the head of 2 slop tarts on a silver platter. Hardcore holiday death match, as Toni calls it. Mox has to hold Marina back.
All right, so let's take 30 seconds right here. It's a hardcore holiday death match.
Yes.
What holiday-themed weapons and all are we getting?
Okay,
like, what
so
are you thinking?
You know, like sleigh bells?
Ooh,
like the percussion instrument that already has kind of like the flame, like the little bell pieces on the edge that can cut. A whip because of the horse. Whoops. I know I'm going off of Jingle Bells a lot there. Again, percussive instrument from Jingle Bells, but the big wooden clapper. You know, okay.
You seem like someone who doesn't really know what You ever seen the thing where it's like the person that's only seen the Boss Baby? This is really giving Boss Baby.
Yeah.
This is giving all you know about Christmas is Jingle Bells.
I mean,
The guy who only knows about Christmas from Jingle Bells.
Well, I'm thinking like, all of those hot lights, you can't have like a snowball or something. That was a reach. Could you use a Christmas tree, like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, to like whip somebody?
I don't know why it's all whipping with you. We'll have to explore that off mic. So like things I was thinking were, like a baking tray of cookies, of Christmas cookies.
Oh.
I was thinking you could probably get like a wreath of barbed wire.
A wreath of barbed wire is
I was thinking various ornaments, like, right, you can break the ball, like if it's those, like that could be your glass.
The baubles. Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. See, I'm just not being creative enough.
I don't think so.
No.
I would fill a present with a lot of heavy rocks. You can just use the present, and someone will open and be like, oh, I got a rock.
I got a rock.
Cornball. I got a fetch bar. I got a pack of gum.
So after that announcement, we go on to hearing from Chris Statlander, kind of just looking ahead, right, with the question of what is next.
Why should I stop now? There are 3 options. There's the past, the present, the future. I know where I'm going, so who's coming with me? Beam me up, Statlander. Next up, AEW Continental Classic Gold League action. Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight. My dad walked in as I was watching this. Shut up, Dad, about hand egg. I'm watching real sports. I really liked how Kevin forced Darby to do some technical wrestling, puts Darby in an early headlock. But off of Timekeeper, backflip on Darby, classic Darby style by Jet Speed. Or, excuse me, off of Timekeeper, backflip on Darby by Jet Speed, Kevin Knight. I think we probably have the same move of the match at the end there.
So before that, because mine's the finish. The only thing I want to call it before that is there's a point where Darby Allin's like on the outside and he's kind of getting counted out. We're not sure. Mm-hmm. So Kevin Knight just does a diving clothesline over the top rope. Yeah, and it's not like he did it to the floor because they have different setups when they do it. It's like this ramp went right up to it, so like he came out like level with him and clotheslined him. That was sick. Like dude is an athlete. Dude's got bounce.
One of my big 2026 predictions is that Jet Speed are going to break up and Kevin Knight's going to go over so much. I think so, seriously. Some other moves here. Avalanche back suplex by Kevin Knight. Pendulum DDT on the ramp by Kevin Knight, and he rolls back into the ring to hope for a count-out victory. Inverted in the corner, Darby Allin. Kevin sets up coast to coast by the Jet.
Coast to coast and post to post.
Incredible. And again, this is right after that, one motion to the top, UFO splash, 1, 2, 3, pin to win by Kevin Knight for 3 points in the Gold League.
I could, like, literally my note was, I can't believe they had him win. Like, I really thought, like, he was going to go through this tournament and just kind of get fed to some of these guys. Like, apparently Darby Allin has always been, like, a really good guy about what is best for business and all. So, like, again, for him to kind of give the nod of, like, yeah, I'll put him over clean, it is awesome. I think it goes, like you say, like he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, no, for real. I think Darby is known for doing insane coffin drops and doing crazy stuff. And so for him to have this match with Kevin Knight, I think it's a big signal to the rest of the company and saying, like, okay, I think 2026 is going to be a big year for Kevin Knight. We're going to see a lot more of him. Backstage with Eddie Kingston. He doesn't want to talk about Hook right now. He's pretty sad. Joe, I heard you mention my name. That's cool. If I take your homeboy Shibata out, then I get a title chance. Eat some pumpkin pie. Mom will make some rice, beans, and chicken. And then Tony Khan makes it official. Tomorrow night, Shibata versus Eddie Kingston. Our main event in Dynamite, in the Continental Classic Blue League, is Claudio Castagnoli versus... Actually, this is the Orange League. Excuse me.
There is no Orange League.
It's the Gold League. But it is Claudio Castagnoli versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is incredible. The bit is perfect.
You were such a hater.
I was such a hater. I didn't get it.
You don't know ball. Just say you don't know ball.
I don't know ball. That's literally the point of this podcast, is me admitting that I don't know ball. Okay. Can I be vulnerable? It's the same way I felt about Curb Your Enthusiasm. I didn't understand Curb Your Enthusiasm for the longest time. I was like, Seinfeld is much better, more fleshed out. The characters are there, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, every Curb Your Enthusiasm episode is the same. Larry finds something silly that he perceives. He embarrasses himself societally, personally, whatever, and then he has to spend the rest of the episode fixing it until he doesn't, and it fails spectacularly. I thought that was dumb, and I was like, oh, every episode is like that. But that's the beauty of it, is that all of the different ways that Larry David and society don't get along. And listen, the older that I get and the more bold that I am, I get Larry. I get it. So that's what I'm getting at here. Orange Cassidy is for me, it was an acquired taste. For many people, it's very simple to get. Connor was doing very many hand motions there. But is that inaccurate? Do you think that's inaccurate? Are you red in the face? You're red in the face right now.
It's like I didn't think I'd ever sit someone who knew this little ball. How could you feel like Seinfeld was? But like what? Jerry Seinfeld was holding him back. I'll say it till the mountains come home.
Speaking of our friend Orange Cassidy, he intercepts the uppercut attempt early. Some of my moves here are the Stun Dog Millionaire by Cassidy. Orange Punch in the air after Claudio pops him up, and then reversing into a Hurricane Rana.
For me, the big things were early Claudio Castagnoli. He always does like that swing where he holds him by his feet. Mm-hmm. He did it on the outside and hit him off the announce table and the barricade separately.
The giant swing.
Thank you. I loved when he was using Orange's waistband to pick him up for a backbreaker, for a gutbuster, like just using his pants against him. Biggest fear.
He was doing that during the Casino Gauntlet, too. Those are some very well...
They weren't in that, but in Blood and Guts. I'm just teasing.
Oh, in Blood and Guts. My bad.
Still great. Still like it.
It's a good bit. I need to know where he gets those pants, though. Those are some very well-made pants. If Claudio's picking him up, and they're picking up the weight of an entire adult with them. After Cassidy tears his brace off, he reverses into a Hurricane Rana. Claudio gets the uppercut, rolls up, pin to win, 1, 2, 3. Claudio wins, gets the 3-point, but next week has to face Moxley, his leader. Paquette is standing by to interview Claudio. After the match, Yuta and Cassidy beef, and the writers gang up on him. Roderick Strong comes in. We've got Fletcher and Takeshita, Dorada, Jet Speed. We got a Donnybrook here, folks. Dorada goes up for the moonsault and takes out the Chaos. An orange punch for Yuta. At Gorilla, Kazuchika Okada looks on. What a way to cap off a show. It's just like, oh yeah, let's just let everybody come in.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Well, there's not much time to wait for Collision the next night, but we won't make you wait long either for The C Show. It's Thanksgiving. You know what that means. You force your mom to finally watch some wrestling with you. So I had to ask my mom as we open up with this match in the Continental Classic Gold League, Pac versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Okay, what's more egregious? Speedball wrestling with Shoeless, his Montreality, or his mullet? And her response was, quote, "That's a lot to take in all at once," end quote.
Speedball's a lot of man. And they came out popping too. Pac did this super nice snap snuplex on the floor. Speedball does 10,000 kicks as always. He goes from the second rope inside the ring to do a full flip moonsault to the outside. Pac goes to the top and does a avalanche belly to belly suplex. They were going.
Oh, the one where he tosses Bailey from the top turnbuckle onto the E in AEW. It's not just a superplex. It's just a drop. Um, right after that, Pac is so top heavy. Pac go to leg day. It's insane that he's just able to stand on the turnbuckle like that. Like, you could see him struggle to get up there and like hold his balance. I'm just amazed that he's able to do it. Uh, and then Speedball Mike Bailey, I saw somebody on one of the AEW subreddits say it, but every time he puts his knees up like that, like he's just double knee replacement before 35. Double knee replacement before 35. Good thing he can just move back to Canada. After a series of kicks, they knock each other down and roll out of the ring, and they do it again on the outside. Pac is waiting for the count out outside. Bailey slips getting up and jumps up onto the ropes. Pac slides out. Bailey comes down on him. No one keeps Bailey in the corner. Spin kick, but Pac counters and rolls up Bailey. Bailey reverse Hurricane Rana. No one home for the Ultimo Brutalizer by Pac. And the ref calls it. Pac wins with the submission move. Play the Death Riders theme. The Riders come out to congratulate while the Rainmaker watches backstage. Backstage, Danny Garcia is rude to Lexi Nair and Daddy Magic. What else is new? Moxley just stimming in the background. That's all I could focus on. Is he's just like
shadowboxing.
He's shadowboxing, and it's just stimming. He's just stimming.
It's literally me. When I was young, and my mom would stop to talk to someone at the grocery store, and I'd be like, "These grapes are gonna get it."
Yeah. Connor, stop that.
But we need grapes.
Garcia reminds Daddy Magic that he needs him to bleed one last time. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Renee Paquette talks to Brodito. Where do you need to go from here? Bandito feels like it was his fault. He's a little sad. Brody is my real brother, taught me to never stop fighting. Brody looks so disappointed to hear that Bandito feels like he messed up. Brodito will be here in AEW fighting for those AEW tag team titles for a long time. Brody wants Bandito to be a fighting champion, retain his title at Final Battle. Unfortunately, due to an injury, Bandito will now face Blake Christian, Commander, Hechicero, and the Beast Mortos in a 6-way survival of the fittest match at Final Battle in Columbus, Ohio. Speaking of Ohio, going along with Daniel Garcia to the ring is one John Moxley, son of Cincinnati, versus Daddy Magic. We finally get to see the fight that spilled out at the Casino Gauntlet match. Student versus Master, while the new Master watches. Okay, you know what every time I think about when I see Matt Menard has a match?
What?
Do you know the Midwestern hardware store chain, Menards?
Aware.
Okay. You know the jingle?
Nope.
Save big money at Menards. That's the jingle. And so every time I'm like, oh, you could save big money at Matt Menards. But that's
Daddy Magic to you.
That's Daddy Magic. Menards rules. I think my move of the match here is Moxley reminding Garcia to keep that foot on the gas pedal. And then, after Menard barely beats the count, he can barely stand. His fists are up. His hips are shaking. Is Daddy Magic in the room with us? Menard gets put in the chokehold, puts his hand up for the rope. Can't do it. The ref calls it. Garcia wins.
Yeah, pretty quick, pretty brutal. Couple shots off the guardrail.
Mm-hmm.
Danny kicks the steps into Daddy Magic as he's like down by the post. They've done that a couple times these past couple weeks. And again, when Menard barely crawled himself back in, he still gave it a valiant effort, little strike exchange before Garcia just choked him out. We get another pass out spot on the night.
Reach for the sky, boy. It's Mark Briscoe. He enters the ring, title aloft, and reminds everyone that he is thankful and humbled to be the TNT champ. Moxley approaches the ring and provides new instructions to Garcia. You deserve it, the crowd chants to Briscoe. Mark is not ducking or diving. Reminds Garcia to not write a check his ass can't cash. Like all the Fixians, Mark is going to devour Garcia's ass. Are we still doing phrasing? I mean, come on.
I hope you can hear my eyebrows raising on the feed.
And speaking of devouring asses, Much like your dog loves to eat delicious things, right? The Farmer's Dog is a service that delivers gently cooked, freshly made pet food with balanced recipes guided by science and driven by love. It's human-grade dog food for your family's furriest members. Here's how it works. You build your plan. You've heard it before. You try it out. And if you and your dog love it, you're all set. You're going to start receiving boxes of food automatically whenever you're running low. Free and flexible deliveries, nationwide shipping across the U.S., eco-friendly packaging, and around-the-clock customer service are all wonderful benefits of the Farmer's Dog. Again, if you order now through the link in our show description, you get 50% off your first box. Remember, use the link linktr.ee/cshowpod or click on the link in the description. You're directly supporting the C Show. Thanks. And back to the program. Ricochet with a national title, the Gates of Agony are hyping him up. Quote, the light-skinned kingpin himself, unquote. He lists off all of the people he beat. Ricochet ain't got to do nothing because he's a champion. He thanks the Gates, Toa Leona, and Bishop Khan. Toa just got dinner reservations at the best 5-star restaurant. Unfortunately, it's still in Nashville.
Whoa.
Have you been to Nashville?
I have not.
I don't want to go back.
Nah.
Don't want to go back. Imagine an entire city designed around the delusion of modern country music. Yeah, Yeah, and then it's also got like this like tech bro thing that's going on too. A bunch of companies have moved to it's like the whole thing of like, oh, we're moving to it's the opposite of, it's not the opposite, but it's like adjacent to, oh, we're moving to Austin because Austin, Texas is better for business. Tennessee is better for business. I was there in 2022 for a work thing, and crappy condos all over the place. Bachelorette parties. Disgusting place. Moving on. Tony Schiavone introduces FTR. Cash and Dax argue with the fans as they enter the ring. Dax looks like a hard-ass math teacher who was a Marine and coaches an obscure and field event. It's not a track event. It's an and field event. He does the shot put or something. He coaches the shot put. He comes in.
You're saying shot put's obscure now? I'm feeling a little offended. Your boy threw a little shot put.
Did you do the shot put?
Shot put, discus, javelin one time.
My bad. I road crew, dude. I've heard it all.
Just doesn't know ball.
No, I only know or. Speaking of lore, Stokes says this is the greatest night of his life and explains the lore of FTR. Dax leans his head on Stokes' shoulder. Cash kisses his temple. Stokes begins to cry. But the lights go out. Guns up. It's the Bang Bang Gang. Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn straight from their financial literacy seminar backstage. Austin Gunn congratulates FTR. Now put your guns up if you're tired of FTR. Bang bang. No one's going to argue with how good you are. We just got a little bit of green. We might want a little bit of gold. I promise you, it's going to happen again. All the Bang Bang cares about is that the next time that FTR faces the Bang Bang Gang, those titles are on the line. Don't touch my belt, Dax warns. Juice touches. The Bang Bang Gang are fighting for my brother, Colton Gunn, who's sitting injured at home, Jay White, and everyone at home. If you got a problem with that, guns up. Bang, bang. Moving on, we have the MXM TV Open casting call. Before I took a shower this morning, I was thinking about this. I was like, what is John Morrison up to? I was like, I in the trading cards that I have a John Morrison DVD that's available for sale if anybody's interested. And I was like, this guy was so over in the early 2010s, and then he just kind of disappears. That's Johnny TV. John Morrison is Johnny TV in AEW.
I don't even know the name Johnny TV.
Oh, he's in MXM. It's Mansoor or Mason Madden.
Oh, stop! That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even peep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's married to Johnny TV is married to Taya Valkyrie, to the woman in MXM TV. So that's where the intro to this is. MXM are in the Thanksgiving spirit. Mansoor is dressed up like the Tin Man. Mason Madden is dressed up like the Lion. Shivani notes the Tin Man has no brain and the Lion was a coward. And of course, in the open casting call, a random group is called from the locker room out to face MXMTV, and today it is the Outrunners. This is an incredible bit. My third best friend who I met at summer camp is here, and I'm going to go see him. We're going to go see him. It's country music superstar Michael Ray. Michael Ray has some song called Real Men Love Jesus. Dumb. Bad. But Michael Ray will come into play later, and we'll ignore him more. MXMTV attack first, and the bell hasn't even rung yet. Technically, it is Mason Madden and Mansoor here with Johnny TV versus the Outrunners and Dalton Castle. Dalton pulls Mason Madden down, and Truth Magnum power bombs Mansoor. MXM touching tips. No one's home for their elbow drop. Mason Madden being bounced on the rope while Castle throws suplexes around like no one's business. The "You Son of a Bitch" by the Outrunners, a reference to the first Predator movie. Castle with the airplane spin, pin to win on Mansoor, 1, 2, 3, and it's Castle and Outrunners for the win. But Ricochet comes out with Toa Leona. Where's Bishop Khan? Ricochet says, don't boo him. This is America. I'll boo you if I want. But Khan was ringside. He drop kicks Dalton Castle. That's what happens when you get into my ring. This whole segment should have been my celebration. Yuck. Khan and Leona slam Floyd and Castle through the mat. Boo, Ricochet. Michael Ray hops over the barricade while Ricochet continues to taunt him.
Dear God, when I say if just like a little 8-foot meteor could have just, not even, neither of them were very large, if a little 4-foot meteor just came down and squished them both to death immediately, God, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Michael Ray and Ricochet.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Agreed.
There was just a very centralized meteor that happened to just squish both of them.
The worst part about this is that I have a cousin named Michael Ray, who was a cool guy.
Excuse me.
He gave me a copy of the People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn.
No Michael Ray Serber. That's all I'll say.
Who's Michael Ray Serber?
He is. He works with the Hand in the Dirt podcast as he's a host on that, and then he works as a producer for the Shutdown Fullcast college football podcast.
Oh, Shutdown.
And he has a band called the Killer Ants, Ants with a Z or a Z.
Like the Woody Allen movie?
Was that a Woody Allen movie? That's not my realm.
Yeah,
dude.
Woody Allen's in that. He's like the main character.
Sure.
Moving on. Lexi and Air talks with the Don Callis family. The family goes through what they're thankful for. Mark Davis is thankful for nothing. Kazuchika is thankful that he doesn't have to team up with Takeshita. They face off. And of course, what else do you get when you put a family all together in the same room? All of these beefs from many years ago come to the surface. There's nothing wrong with keeping your peace and keeping it simple for Thanksgiving, folks.
So, when are you getting married? How's your 4th divorce going?
Next up, as laid out the previous evening, Eddie Kingston versus Katsuyori Shibata. Kingston attacks on the ramp, and they take it outside of the ring. Eddie catches Shibata with his foot, DDT pin to win. Sorry.
Not going to talk about the cock shot?
Oh, yeah. I'll get that. All right. Did you have any moves of the match?
Just the cock shot.
That's right. The finale here really is after a break, after the break, a low blow from Shibata before the Juju Gatami. Eddie catches Shibata with his foot, DDT pin to win. Eddie Kingston, real New York guys. Eddie gets the mic. He says he will not speak on what Hook does. Hook did what he did. Still, my boy got to pay with Hangman and Swerve. Not me, hopefully. What's crazy is that I don't want to accept that love. I feel that. Apparently, Toni just said shoot to Eddie, which means just speak from the heart here. He didn't think that he deserved the love. I feel that. I'm not a fucking actor. I am pro wrestling. I love you guys because you guys love pro wrestling. I do that because there's a little kid who loves pro wrestling who wants to get into this business. Don't do it. I see what Joe is doing with the ops. He's going to lead the ops down the wrong path. Zoom in my eyes, cameraman. This ring gives me peace. Winter is coming. Don't be a pussy. Defend the title against me. Let Tony Khan cook. Ringside, he finds a kid to parade around. Perfect. On commentary, they muse. The kid learned a few new words that evening. Backstage, Red Velvet challenges Ulta Monet at Final Battle, but she's got congratulations for both Statlander and Monet. She reminds Monet that 13 wasn't so lucky, and she wants her rematch at Ring of Honor's Final Battle at GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio. Next up, we've got Thekla versus Tay Mello.
I'm going to start just by submitting my apology form. I did not know Tay Mello could hoop a little bit. I've only seen her a couple times. I wasn't impressed. Like they said on commentary, I want to say they say that she did. Can't remember which martial art they said. It was something adjacent to judo, and then like
I think it is just straight judo.
Oh, I thought it was like Jukido or something else. I didn't want to say it wrong.
Okay.
But starts with some really nice like throws, like hip throws, hips tosses, trades some strikes, and hits a really nice pile driver later. Like, I'm sorry, Tay Mello, I only saw you in the tag tournament, but hey, you're good. I'm with you right now.
She is a judoka.
That was it. Okay.
Judoka. It doesn't say specifically. She holds a black belt in judo and a blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. She briefly went to law school in Brazil and even competed and participated in the trials for the Brazilian Olympic team at the 2016 Olympics before joining the WWE. While in the WWE as Tainara Conti from 2017 to 2022, she was members of... Oh, never mind. In AEW, she was a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society with her real-life husband, Sammy Guevara, who she was also AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champions with in AAA.
God, a mixed title would go so crazy in AEW.
I love a mixed title because you've got the Death Riders, you've got the conglomeration. Toni and Mina are so paired right now. I wouldn't want to peel them off for either one of them. I'm trying to think. MXM could put out somebody, put out a team.
And then again, just the other kind of relationships you could find within, like, dude, give me another Maniac to go with Mark Briscoe. Let's just have Maniacs going crazy.
Harley Cameron.
Yes. Get like Jamie Hayter and Orange Cassidy to go crazy.
Oh, yes. Yes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But next up, yes, we're still talking about Thekla and Tay Mello. Thekla looks like she's an actual pain for once, but gets to the ropes, and then hits a suplex on the ramp/apron. When a woman puts her hair up, you know it's going to get good, because Tay Mello hammers the shoulder blade of Thekla, but Thekla puts her into the death trap, a crucifix hold. Will Mike Posey call it was just a ruse by Mello? After a pile driver by Mello, Thekla kicks out. Mello is hobbling after a brutal attack by Thekla. Stomp to the back of the head. Reverse leg hold pin to win by the Toxic Spider. Thekla 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Sky Blue and Julia Hart approach and attack Tay Mello. The bell continues the ring. Mike Posey reminds the ladies that it's over. Jamie Hayter's music, and she runs out. Dun, 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 dun. Statlander is here too. Let's go. Speaking of wrestling, in the Continental Classic, Blue League, Konosuke Takeshita versus Roderick Strong. Of course, Don Callis joins commentary. It starts out evenly matched. Lots of technical arm-based grappling to start. Strong attempts a crucifix hold, and it backfires.
Did you see Strong get the back of his head slammed off the guardrail so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Takeshita like picks him up and I think was trying to do like a back suplex and just drop his back, literally just the entire back of his head on the guardrail.
My notes are literally, yikes, Takeshita drives Strong's head into the barricade. But right after that, Takeshita Blue Thunder Bomb, big boot in the corner, and my move of the match, Roddy Strong, Buckle Bomb. Takeshita kicks out at the last minute, Strong lung buster, then a backbreaker, Takeshita suplex, pin to win, and pin, and Strong kicks out at 2, then Takeshita hits the Raging Fire, pin to win, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. 3 points for Takeshita in the Continental Classic.
Yeah, so that move is like you pick someone up for a suplex, but instead of dropping them like back, you bring them like in where you sit out, like Damian Priest's Broken Arrow, like he did before. But again, really nice. What do you call it again? The Burning Fire? The
Raging Fire.
Raging Fire.
That's
a great goddamn name.
It's a great name.
That was a great match, man. They flew around again. Just another great match in this Continental Classic. And again, we are, got about whatever it is. I don't think we actually figured out, but 4 more weeks, right? It's got to be what? There's 5 round robins, so 5 weeks. Like, can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. And this will all lead up to World's End at the end of the year. That's in Chicago. We may have some guests come. Some guests might go to that for us. I discussed it with them. We might see. But we're going to talk more about the Continental Classic here, and also some upcoming events here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We're talking Continental Classic. We're here with a current standings, looking at the table in the Blue League. At the top here, since it's pretty much tied on points and matches wrestled, at the top, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Konosuke Takeshita, all with 3 points. At the top, Roderick Strong, Mascara Dorada, and Orange Cassidy. You could argue the baby faces of the group in the with 0 points in total there for the 3. I think it's really interesting right there as you look at the blue and the Blue League, splitting it up. Moxley, Castagnoli, Takeshita, the quote unquote heels, more difficult characters. Are we going to see more action where Strong, Dorada, Cassidy get the upper hand, especially in these battles where the faces have to play against or have to wrestle off against each other?
There's no baby face if there's no comeback.
On the are there any matches that you're looking forward to in the Blue League coming up?
I'm interested to see how it goes when Death Riders have to face each other, when, Mox and
Castagnoli.
Yeah, and Castagnoli have to get after it. And then I really just want to see more Roderick Strong. I haven't seen a whole lot of him. I've heard good things from other companies and all. I'm excited to watch him. I really appreciate his match, so I want to see him go and get some more shine.
Yeah, I really love Roderick Strong and the whole business with the conglomeration, will he, won't he, etc. Love that. It's very fun, especially with his relationship with Kyle O'Reilly. They go back together a long time. On the gold side of the table, we've got Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, and Pac with 3 points each. Kazuchika Okada, Darby Allin, and Speedball Mike Bailey with 0 points each so far. Fletcher and Pac being here are no surprise. Again, Kevin Knight, I was really blown away by his performance against Darby Allin. And again, I think we've got really a lot to see from Kevin Knight coming up here.
I can't wait to see Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. We saw just a little bit of it during the Casino Gauntlet when they were both in there. That match is going to be great. And I'm really interested to see where does Darby Allin go from here? Is this going to be a thing where he's kind of putting over other guys? Like, again, he's like, hey, best for business, the next thing. Is he going to battle back here and get himself kind of in this contention here? And especially to see Darby Allin and Kyle Fletcher go at it.
Yeah, I would love to. Darby Allin and Kyle Fletcher going at it again is going to be great. This is a little perverse, but Okada and Bailey. I think is going to be an interesting match for sure. Okada now has a little bit more to play for. He's got to defend his Continental title. He's already a match in without any points, so he really needs, going forward, every match he needs to be either playing for a draw or winning at this point. So that's the other part about this. I think the strategy of adding in both, we didn't talk about it earlier, but people aiming for the countout victories as well as aiming for draws as well. Like if you extend this out for the entire 20 minutes, it's a draw, right? And so you get a point each. But, you know, that really changes the dynamic and how everything plays out at the end. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Like, you know, they don't put it in there if it's not going to come into play at some point, right? Is it going to be, you know...
Chekhov's crowbar.
Right? Is it going to be someone getting 1 win and 3, you know, 3 ties and be like, oh, you got 6 points. You're up there going into the last match or whatever. Like,
yeah.
It's going to come into play.
For sure. The other match that I wanted to talk about was Eddie Kingston versus Samoa Joe. Winter is Coming. That'll be on December 10th, Dynamite. Again, pretty phenomenal that they're hyping this up. It's like basically a pay-per-view match that they're going to do during Dynamite, during a special edition Dynamite, of course. But Eddie Kingston, the Brawler versus Samoa Joe. Listen, Samoa Joe is on this heel thing right now with the Ops. I really like how they're playing it out so far. I think that it's going to be brutal for Eddie. It's going to be hard. I don't think Eddie's going to walk away with the title, though. I think this is really going to be something where Swerve and Hangman might have to come in and save Eddie.
I could definitely see that happening. I agree. I don't see Joe dropping the title already, especially to like someone that like maybe they have more history than I think. But again, at least recent history from we've been, like there's no real push or shove to make it happen.
Eddie and Hook
right
both
now
came back from injuries recently.
Yeah, recently, right? So, yeah, I see Samoa Joe keeping it. I expect to see a larger play where maybe it becomes Eddie, Hangman, and Swerve versus Joe and the Ops for the Trios title, maybe. I could see that kind of bouncing around as a way to kind of let them all get their hands on each other.
Hangman, Swerve, Eddie, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, perhaps?
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
We might be in that.
Wow. No, I'm really excited for this. Eddie was fantastic in his shoot, basically, promo where he's just dumping out his feelings. I loved that. I think it's really important for first of all, for men to talk about their emotions like that. And also for like, quote unquote, tough guys to do that. And I think Samoa Joe, just as a character, is phenomenal. There has been some talks already about like, is this the like last big title run of Samoa Joe's career, right? He's getting up there. Is this something where he's taking one last final title push? He's gonna enjoy this for a minute and then put somebody else over. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what goes on here. You have anything else to say before we head out?
No, I appreciate everyone sticking with us through, the good, the bad, and the ugly of this podcast.
That's right. The C Show. Of course you like the C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with your friends. Support the show directly at ko-fi.com/cshowpod. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at cshowpod. Have a question for the boys? Send an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends Amir, Patrick, and Justin for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Take that one again for me, brother.